So what's expected of you, the borrower? I need to know information about the property. So detailed property info, maybe an MLS sheet or the tax data page. Obviously, we're going to need your purchase contract, your purchase and sale agreement, or as we call it here in Utah, your REPC, your real estate purchase contract. We need to know the terms of the deal, when it's closing, what you're paying, etc. We need to know the settlement deadline. That's huge. Sometimes I get a borrower that comes to me the day of, which sometimes we can do, but the more time, the better. So we need to know when our target date is, our target price, and the target property. We also need to know what type of purchase it is. Are you buying it from a wholesaler? Is it an REO? Is it at the courthouse? Is it a traditional sale? That sometimes will dictate how to handle title. And then what is your strategy? Are you fixing it up to flip? Are you going to fix it and then refinance it and do a BRRRR? What is your plan? We need to know what that is. We also need to know your scope of work, your repair costs and estimates. And then I also need to know what you think this thing's going to sell for. I always like to verify what my borrower's proposed ARV or after repair value is, just so we can be on the same page about what that asset or property is going to be worth after rehab. Okay, what can you expect from the lender? I'm going to evaluate the borrower and their ability to perform. Maybe experience is a factor. Maybe have they worked with this contractor before? Do they know how to estimate the scope of work? Are they realistic about their ARV? Do they have a good real estate agent that they're using? We're going to review title. Typically, we always like to be in first lien position. So we're going to make sure that there's nothing screwy with the title. I'm going to evaluate the collateral, obviously, make sure I agree with the ARV and the scope of work. And I might come back and review or challenge some of your repair estimates just to make sure that we're realistic about having enough money and the proper scope of work to achieve that highest value when you go to resell it. And then provide you a firm loan commitment, let you know, hey, we're good to go. We can fund it on such and such date. Let's get things lined up. Okay, a couple tips for working with your lender. Beware of loan-to-own lenders. If the terms maybe seem way too good to be true with too short of a payback period, maybe you're getting into something where the lender actually wants to take the property back. So ask for referrals, get references, and find a trusted source. Be transparent, communicate, and expect the lender to do the same. If you don't know something, or if you're not quite sure what something means on the application, just talk with the lender and admit if you don't have a lot of experience. The last thing you want to do is try and cover something up, because it will come out at some point. Understand what you're getting into, read the terms, understand what extensions look like, ask questions, get it in writing, communicate with your lender, and provide updates along the way on your project. So the loan buying process, to just be real simplified, sometimes you need a proof of funds letter to demonstrate to the seller that you have the ability to get a hard money loan, checklist or other underwriting requirements, applications, and then loan docs, bam, done, close that deal. Proof of funds letter. I regularly provide proof of funds letter to my borrowers. Basically what it's saying is, like, you're already kind of pre-approved for this hard money loan, subject to maybe a down payment requirement, and we can move fast. What it does is it gives you validity in lieu of cash to the seller, to show them that you have the ability to buy this and someone's going to back you with the money. It helps with your offer. What it is not, it's not a 100% guarantee. Once it's under contract, both you and your lender are still going to need to do some due diligence. And then it's not cash. A lot of times investors will pretend or act as if a hard money loan is cash. It does act and feel like cash, but it's not cash in the sense that we do need to still record a deed of trust or mortgage and a promissory note. Okay, checklist. I have a 2-page checklist. This is the second page of my checklist that's shown on the screen. And pretty much I just need to know about you, the borrower, name, address, phone, entity type, stuff like that. But then most importantly, I need to know what your scope of work is. So I can send this to you if you text me on my video. My number is going to be at the end of the video. I can send you this checklist as well as some of my other fix and flip calculators and BRRRR calculators to help you evaluate your deal. When you go to close, you're going to have 3 main documents. You're going to have a settlement statement, you're going to have a deed of trust, and you're going to have a secured promissory note. The settlement statement is like your scorecard, breaks down all the costs of the transaction. The deed of trust is the ability for the lender publicly to put on record that they have provided you a loan, and in the event of default, they could foreclose and take the property back. That's their security instrument. Then the promissory note just details the payback terms of the loan. when the loan matures, how many points you're being charged, what your interest rate is. Quick example to do the math. I always like my borrowers to be able to do this by hand, but ultimately, once you start using a spreadsheet or some sort of fix and flip or deal evaluation calculator, you can trust that. But I want you to know how to calculate the points and the interest. So in this example, let's say the loan amount is $120,000. Sorry, back up. Let's say the purchase price is $150,000 and the lender is only funding 80% of your purchase price. That means that the lender would fund $120,000 with you putting $30,000 as a down payment. They charge 2 points. 2 points on $120,000 is $2,400. 1 point's $1,200 times 2, $2,400. And the accruing monthly interest is on an annual basis. So you would take $120,000, which is your loan amount, times by 12%. That gives you the cost for 1 year to have that money. And then what you do is just divide it by how many months you're going to have the loan outstanding. That gives you your per month cost of interest. So in this example, your cost of financing for 6 months would be roughly $9,600, which is $2,400 in points plus 6 months of $1,200 a month. So it's very, very simple usually to calculate how much you're going to be into your hard money and your cost of financing. Know how to do it with your calculator and then rely on your spreadsheet. Okay, what's missing with all of this is the debt's easy. The lender's going to come in and fund 70, 80, 90, maybe even 100% of your purchase price, but you got to have a down payment and then the rehab money. Where do you get that? Some of the places I've seen my borrowers get it is friends and family, obviously their own bank account, maybe a line of credit on their personal home, maybe a line of credit from their bank. Sometimes they'll get a second mortgage. So they'll get another hard money lender who has a different appetite and wants to do second. So the bottom line is there's so many different ways to fulfill that down payment and rehab expense requirement. If you have a good deal and are resourceful and just ask questions, you are going to find someone to help you either through a partnership, a second mortgage, a joint venture, to lend, borrow, or partner with you on the deal. Okay, this is kind of more of a fun slide. Always know your ABCs, which is always be cool. A few years ago, I took some surf lessons in California from the Milton brothers, and I was out there surfing and I was just struggling and frustrated. And I came in and I said, well, what am I doing wrong? And they said, man, every time you're out there, you just don't look like you're having fun. You're stressed. Your face is all tight. He said, you just need to relax. Just enjoy the waves. Always be cool. And then you'll get a hang for it and you'll start catching more and more waves. And it works. I think the same thing is in real estate investing. You can get beat up doing this. Deals are not always going to go to plan. You're going to have something mess up with the rehab, but always be cool. Don't get too emotional. Just know that next wave is coming. And the more and more that you practice on, the better and better you're going to get. And you're also going to crash and burn. Sometimes those waves are going to pummel you, but you're going to get better at paddling out. You're going to get better about coming in. You're going to get better about flipping and doing real estate. One of my last points here is always be learning. I've been doing this for 17 years and I'm involved in more mentoring and coaching groups than I ever have been before. So never stop learning. Always be curious and always be asking questions. So some of these resources are here that I like that I'm currently a part of. This list changes a bunch because there's always new information out there and new ways to learn. If you want my real estate starter kit, shoot me a text and I will send it to you. What it will include is some just different resources as far as a fix and flip calculator, a BRRRR calculator. If you're in Utah, I have resources for local wholesalers and real estate clubs, but it also might give you some ideas in your local market of where to search out and find these same groups to help you grow, learn, and find deals. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.